In this second example, you're going to notice that it's a little bit more challenging because notice we have more terms in this expression on the right than the expression on the left originally. So there is a way to go ahead and work around this and make sure that you don't get it wrong. And what I like to do is I like to use 0 in order in place of anything that's missing, so I don't forget to match something up. Let me show you what I mean by that. For instance, we have 8x to the 4th power plus 2x to the 2nd power minus 1. And in the second expression, we got 3x to the 3rd power minus 5x to the 2nd power plus 7x plus 1. So notice we have 4 terms, and here we just have 3. I'm going to start with my highest term on this one on the left. I'm going to rewrite it, and I'm going to go ahead and write 8x to the 4th power. Now, if I'm looking at this one on the right, first of all, notice we do have a plus sign here. So unlike the other one, I'm not going to distribute that 1 because it doesn't change anything, right? I'm literally just going to drop the parentheses and move each one of these terms over here to the right underneath the one that they match up with. Now notice on the right there is no power of 4. We have a power of 3, a power of 2, this is a power of 1, and then we have a constant value. So because I have no power of 4, just as a placekeeper, I'm going to write 0x to the 4th power. So that way there's something to line up with it, so I don't accidentally put this 3x cubed underneath that 8x to the 4th power, which is something I see students do commonly when they don't put a 0 in to hold the place. Next, after this, I want you to notice that this next power is to the power of 2, but we have a power of 3 over here. So what I'm going to do, since we don't have a power of 3 in this first expression, I'm going to use 0 as a placeholder. So I'm going to put plus 0 x to the power of 3. And then I'm going to take this 3x to the power of 3 and I'm going to bring it on down this way and write it directly underneath that 0x to the power of 3. So plus 3x to the power of 3. And then I'm going to go to the next one. Now the next one we do have a power of 2, so I'm going to bring that down and put plus 2x squared. And notice we also have a power of 2 in our expression on the right. So I'm going to go ahead and bring it down. Minus 5x squared. And then notice on this left, we don't have x to the power of 1, but we do on the right. So we need a placeholder for this x to the power of 1. So I'm just going to put plus 0x. And I'm going to move this positive 7x underneath it. So plus 7x. And then we have negative 1 for our last term in this left expression. So minus 1. And we have plus 1 in the expression on the right that we're going to combine it with. Plus 1. So now I'm going to draw my line underneath it. And we're just going to do math from top to bottom. And again, the calculator so that you can see what's going on mentally when I'm looking at this. Now I know 8 plus 0 is just going to be 8, right? And not that you need to see it in the calculator, but I'm literally in my mind just saying 8 plus 0. And so therefore, when I combine these two terms, I have 8x to the 4th power. And then we have 0 plus 3, which just gives us 3x to the 3rd power. And then we have 2 plus negative 5. 2 plus negative 5. And it gives us negative 3 to the 2nd power. So negative 3x to the 2nd power. And then we have 0 plus 7. So we just have 7x. And then we have negative 1 plus 1. Negative 1 plus 1. And it gives us 0. Now these are all my terms, right? But in our final answer, we're not going to put anything that's a 0. We just want to put terms that have a coefficient of 1 or greater, or anything less than 0, right? Negative 1 and below. So when I write my final answer, it's just going to be 8x to the 4th power plus 3x cubed minus 3x squared plus 7x. Once again, notice that I did use zeros as placeholders, because I find that when we don't use zeros as placeholders, a lot of students will combine the wrong terms. So just keep that in mind. Always try to do these from top to bottom and use zeros as placeholders for anything that's missing when you're trying to combine. And that's it. That's our final answer.